Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Morning Stir and Through the Bible with Yolanda Worldwide here on YouTube. I want to first welcome anyone who's joining in as a replay viewer. I'm so glad you're here. Go ahead and leave your mark by giving me a hashtag replay. And if you're new, let me know that as well. And make sure you click that subscribe button and enable your notifications by clicking on the little bell so that you don't miss anything in the future. I'm so glad you're here. And for those of you who are joining in live, I call you my people. Number one, greet me in whatever way you do in your part of the world. Number two, let me know where in the world you're joining in from. Number three, help me by clicking the little thumbs up on the screen. Number four, please help me share this broadcast far and wide. And number five, if you are, go ahead and let me know. I'm stirred up. I'm stirred up. If you like me, stirred all the way up. We're going to quickly dive in, praying in the Spirit for just a few moments. Then I'm going to share whatever the Lord lays on my heart, and we're going to quickly go into reading the Word of God. So let's get with it. Let's begin to pray. Rakatamandi ele bako tekele bata. Rakata yala bakore kede bataya. Rokotamandi ikarakata. Yete mandi ikorekete. Rokotamandi ele bako tekele bata. Rakataya laba korekere bataya laba korekere bata roko tamandi ikarakata yele bakote kele bata roko tamandi ikarakata yele bakote kele bata rakatamandi ikarakata yele bakote kele bata roko tayandi ikarakata yete mandi ikorekete roko tamandi ikarakata Roko tamandi ikarakataya. Rakataya labakore kede bataya. Roko tamandi ikarakata. Yele bakote kele bata. Rande ki ikarakata. Yele bakore kede bataya. Rakatamandi ikarakata. Yele bakote kele bataya. Yatamandi ikarakata. Roko tamandi ile bakote ke rekete yale bakore kede bata. Randi ikarakata. Roko tamande ki ikarakata. Rakataya labakoreke de bataya. Roko tamandi ele bakote kele bata. Rakatamandi ikarakata. Roko tamandi ele bakote ke reketi ele baha. Yete mandi ikarakata. Roko tiele bakote kele bata. Yatamandi ikarakata. Roko tiele bakote kele bata. Reketi ele bata. Mandi ikarakata, rokoti yele bakore kerebata, randi ikarakata, rokota mandi ikarakata, yele bakote kelebata, rakatamandi ikarakata, rekete yele bakore kerebataya, rekete andi ikarakata, rekete mandi ikarakata, Rakatamandi ika rekete yalabakore kerebata. Rokotamandi ika rakata. Rekete yalabakore kerebata. Rekete yalabakore kerebata. Rakatamandi ika rakata. Rekete yala bakode kede bata, rekete yala bakode kede bata, rakatamandi ika rakata, rekete yala bakode kede bata, rokotamandi ika rakata, rokote yala bakode kede bata, randi ika rakata, rokote yala bakode kede bataya, randi ika rakata yala bakode kede bata, rekete yala bakode kea, rakati yandi ika rakata, rakatamandi ika rekete, rokotamandi ika ikarakata, yete mandi ikarakata, rokoti yala bakote kelebata, rekete yala bakore kerebataya, rekete iyara bakore kerebataya. Randi ikarakata yala bakore kerebata, reketi yala bakore kerebata, roko tamandi ikarakata, rokoti yala bakore kerebata, reketi yala bakore kerebata, randi ikarakata, rokoti yala bakote ke, reketi yandi ikarakataya, rokoti yala bakore kerebata, randi ikarakataya, roko tamandi ikara, Rokoti yele bakore kere bata. Rakatamandi ika rakata. Yele bakote kele bata. Yandi ika rakata. Rokoti yandi yara bakore kere bataya. Rakatiala bakore kede bata, rokotiala bakote kede bata, randi ikarakata, rokotiala bakore kede bata, randi ikarakata, rokotiala bakore kede bata, randi ikarakata, rokotiala bakore kede bata, randi yala bakore kede bata, reketiala bakote kede bata, rande ki ikarakata, rokotamandi ikarakata, Yele bakote ke akarakata. Yele bakote kele bata. Yandi ikarakata. Rokoti yele bakode kele bata. Reketi yele bakode kele bata. Reketi yele bakode kele bataya. Rakatamandi ikarakataya. Rokotamandi ikarakata. Ore kedede andi yarabakore kele bataya. Randi yele bakode kele bata. Roko tamandi ikarakata. Roko tamandi elebakode kerebataya. My God. The words I heard in my spirit today is don't get caught in the weeds. Do not get caught in the weeds. I'm trying to make sense of this because the verse that came to me when I heard this was about wheat and tares. That says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. While men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And in my spirit, I'm like, Lord, what are you saying? Don't get caught in the weeds. So I assume that the way we end up getting caught in the weeds is when we're not on our post, when we're sleeping, when we should be contending, when we're sleeping, when we should be in war against the enemy. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. We cannot afford to be caught off guard by the enemy in this season. There's too much on the line. There's too much at stake for us to be in slumber when we should be in the time of prayer. We have to remain on our posts lest we get caught up in the weeds. Jesus. My God. Let's dive into the word. But as I'm diving into the word, somebody type in the comments for me, I'm not getting caught up in the weeds. I'm not getting caught up in the weeds. I'm going to go ahead and dive in while you're typing that. We're picking up at First Chronicles, chapter 22 is where I'm beginning today. We got about 2 more days and we're done with First Chronicles. Y'all, we plowed through this thing. David ordered all the resident aliens in the land to come together. He sent them to the stone quarries to cut dressed stone to build the temple of God. He also stockpiled a huge quantity of iron for nails and bracings for the doors of the gates. More bronze than could be weighed, and cedar logs past counting. The Sidonians and Tyrians shipped in huge loads of cedar logs for David. David was thinking, my son Solomon is too young to plan ahead for this, but the sanctuary that is to be built for God has to be the greatest, the talk of all the nations. So I'll get the construction materials together. That's why David prepared this huge stockpile of building materials before he died. Then he called in Solomon, his son, and commanded him to build a sanctuary for the God of Israel. David said to Solomon, I wanted in the worst way to build a sanctuary to honor my God, but God prevented me, saying, you've killed too many people, fought too many wars. You are not the one to honor me by building a sanctuary. You've been responsible for too much killing, too much bloodshed, but you are going to have a son, and he will be a quiet and peaceful man. And I will calm his enemies down on all sides. His very name will speak peace. That is Solomon, which means peace, and I'll give peace and rest under his rule. He will be the one to build a sanctuary in my honor. He'll be my royal adopted son, and I'll be his father, and I'll make sure that the authority of his kingdom over Israel lasts forever. So now, son, God be with you. Godspeed as you build the sanctuary for your God, the job God has given you. And may God also give you discernment and understanding when he puts you in charge of Israel, so that you will rule in reverent obedience under God's revelation. That's what will make you successful, following the directions and doing the things that God commanded Moses for Israel. Courage, take charge, don't be timid, don't hold back. Look at this. I've gone to a lot of trouble to stockpile materials for the sanctuary of God. 100,000 talents, 3,775 tons of gold, 1,000,000 talents, 37,750 tons of silver, tons of bronze and iron, too much to weigh, and all this timber and stone. And you're free to add more, and workers both plentiful and prepared, stone cutters, masons, carpenters, artisans in gold and silver, bronze and iron. You're all set. Get to work, and Godspeed. David gave orders to all of Israel's leaders to help his son Solomon, saying, isn't it obvious that your God is present with you, that he has given you peaceful relations, and everyone around? My part in this was to put down the enemy, subdue the land to God and his people. Your part is to give yourselves heart and soul to praying to your God. So get moving. Build the sacred house of worship to God. Then bring the chest of the covenant of God and all the holy furnishings for the worship of God into the sanctuary built in honor of God. Chapter 23. When David got to be an old man, he made his son Solomon king over Israel. At the same time, he brought together all the leaders of Israel, the priests and the Levites. The Levites 30 years old and older were counted. The total was 38,000. David sorted them into work groups. 24,000 are in charge of administering worship in the sanctuary. 6,000 are officials and judges. 4,000 are security guards, and 4,000 are to serve in the orchestra, praising God with instruments that I have provided for praise. David then divided the Levites into groupings named after the sons of Levi: Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The Gershonites, Ladan and Shimei, the three sons of Ladan, Jehiel, Zetham, and Joel, the three sons of Shimei, Shelomoth, Haziel, and Haran, all heads of the families of Laden. The four sons of Shimei, Jahath, Ziza, Jewish, and Beriah, Jahath came first, followed by Ziza. Jewish and Beriah did not have many sons, so they were counted as one family with one task. The four sons of Kohath Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel, the sons of Amram, Aaron, and Moses. Aaron was especially ordained to work in the Holy of Holies to burn incense before God, to serve God and bless his name always. This was a permanent appointment for Aaron and his sons. Moses and his sons were counted in the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses, Gershom and Eleazar. Shabal was the first son of Gershom. Rehabiah was the first and only son of Eleazar. But though Eleazar had no other sons, Rehabiah had many sons. Shelomith was the first son of Izhar. Hebron had four sons, Jeriah, Amariah, Jahaziel, and Jekameam. Uzziel had two sons, Micah and Ishiah. The sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi. The sons of Mali, Eleazar and Kish. Eleazar died without any sons, only daughters. Their cousins, the sons of Kish, married the daughters. Mushi had three sons, Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth. These are the sons of Levi, 20 years old and older, divided up according to families and heads of families, and listed in work groups that took care of the worship in the sanctuary of God. David said, "Now that God of Israel has given rest to his people and made Jerusalem his permanent home, the Levites no longer have to carry the tabernacle and all the furniture required for the work of worship." These last words of David referred only to Levites 20 years old and above. From now on, the assigned work of the Levites was to assist Aaron's sons in the work of worship in God's house, maintain courtyards and closets, keep the furniture and utensils of worship clean, take care of any extra work needed in the work of worship, and provide bread for the table and flour for the meal offerings and the unraised wafers, all baking and mixing, all measuring and weighing. Also, they were to be present for morning prayers, thanking and praising God, for evening prayers, and at the service of whole burnt offerings to God on Sabbath, at new moons, and at all festivals. They were on regular duty to serve God according to their assignment and the required number. In short, the Levites, with the sons of Aaron as their companions in the ministry of holy worship, were responsible for everything that had to do with worship, the place and times and ordering of worship. Chapter 24. The family of Aaron was grouped as follows. Aaron's sons were Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Nadab and Abihu died before their father and left no sons. So Eleazar and Ithamar filled the office of priest. David assigned Zadok from the family of Eleazar and Ahimelech from the family of Ithamar, and assigned them to separate divisions for carrying out their appointed ministries. It turned out that there were more leaders in Eleazar's family than in Ithamar's, so they divided them proportionately. 16 clan leaders from Eleazar's family and 8 clan leaders from Ithamar's family. They assigned the leaders by lot, treating both families alike, for there were officials of the sanctuary and officials of God among both the Eleazar and the Ithamar families. The secretary, Shemaiah, son of Nathaniel, a Levite, wrote down their names in the presence of the king. The officials, Zadok the priest, Ahimelech, son of Abiathar, and the leaders of the priestly and Levitical families. They took turns. One family was selected from Eleazar and then one from Ithamar. The first lot fell to Jehoram, the second to Judea, the third to Haram, the fourth to Seorim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Jamin, the seventh to Hakaz, eighth to Abijah, ninth to Jeshua, 10th to Shechaniah, 11th to Eliashib, 12th to Jakim, 13th to Huppah, 14th to Jeshabeab, 15th to Bilgah, 16th to Immer, 17th to Hezer, 18th to Hapizes, 19th to Pethathiah, 20th to Jehezkel, 21st to Jachin, 22nd to Gamul, 23rd to Deliah, and 24th to Maziah. They served in the appointed order when they entered the temple of God, following the procedures laid down by their ancestors, Aaron as God. The God of Israel had commanded him. The rest of the Levites are as follows: from the sons of Amram, Shebael; from the sons of Shebael, Jedaiah; concerning Rehabiah from his sons, Ishiah was the first; from the Israelites, Shelomoth; from the sons of Shelomoth, Jahath; the sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, Jahaziel the third, and Jechamiah the fourth; the son of Uzziel, Micah; from the sons of Micah, Shemir; the brother of Micah was Ishiah; and from the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah; the sons of Merari, Mali and Mushi; the sons of Jasiah, Beno; the sons of Merari, from Jasiah, Beno, Shoham, Zachor, and Ibri; from Mali, Eleazar, who had no sons; from Kish, Jeremiel, the son of Kish; and from the sons of Mushi, Mali, Eder, and Jeremoth. These were the Levites by their families. They also cast lots, the same as their kindred, the sons of Aaron, had done in the presence of David the king, Zadok, Ahimelech, and the leaders of the priestly and Levitical families. The families of the oldest and youngest brothers were treated the same. In chapter 25. Next, David and the worship leaders selected some from the family of Asaph, Heman, and Jeduthun for special service in preaching and music. Here is the roster of the names and assignments from the family of Asaph: Zachor, Joseph, Nethaniah, and Asarela. They were supervised by Asaph, who spoke for God, backed up by the king's authority. From the family of Jeduthun, there were 6 sons: Gedaliah, Zeri, Jeshaiah, Jami, Hashabiah, and Mattathiah. They were supervised by their father Jeduthun, who preached and accompanied himself with the zither. He was responsible for leading thanks and praise to God. From the family of Haman, Bukiah, Mattaniah, Uzziel, Shebael, Jeremoth, Hananiah, Hanani, Eliathah, Gethalti, Ramanti, Ezer, Josh Bekasah, Malathi, Hothar, and Mahazioth. These were the sons of Haman, the king's seer. They supported and assisted him in his divinely appointed work. God gave Haman 14 sons and 3 daughters. Under their father's supervision, they were in charge of leading and singing and providing music accompaniment in the work of sanctuary of God. Asaph, Jeduthun, and Haman took their orders directly from the king. They were well trained in the sacred music. All of them masters. There were 288 of them. They drew names at random to see who would do what. Nobody, whether young or old, teacher or student, was given preference or advantage over another. The first name from Asaph's family was Joseph and his 12 sons and brothers. Second, Gedaliah and his 12 sons and brothers. Third, Zachor and his 12 sons and brothers. Fourth, Israel and his 12 sons and brothers. Nethaniah and his 12 sons and brothers. Sixth, Bukiah and his 12 sons and brothers. Seventh, Jesarela and his 12 sons and brothers. Eighth, Jeshaiah and his 12 sons and brothers. Ninth, Mattaniah and his 12 sons and brothers. 10th, Shimei and his 12 sons and brothers. 11th, Azarel and his 12 sons and brothers. 12th, Hashabiah and his 12 sons and brothers. 13th, Shebael and his 12 sons and brothers. 14th, Mattathiah and his 12 sons and brothers. 15th, Jeremoth and his 12 sons and brothers. 16th, Hananiah and his 12 sons and brothers. 17th, Josh Bekashah and his 12 sons and brothers. 18th, Hanani and his 12 sons and brothers. 19th, Malathi and his 12 sons and brothers. 20th, Eliathah and his 12 sons and brothers. 21st, Hother and his 12 sons and brothers. 22nd, Gedalti and his 12 sons and brothers. 23rd, Mahazioth and his 12 sons and brothers. 24th, Ramamti, Ezer and his 12 sons and brothers. We're going to stop right there for today at the 25th chapter. We read the 22nd through the 25th chapter. Happy Friday, by the way. We're going to pick back up on Monday. And we should be able to finish off First Chronicles and be ready to move into, the next book, Second Chronicles. But have an amazing, amazing weekend. And I will see you guys on the other side of Sunday. Blessings.